Prior to, just at the beginning of the campaign, you had the chance to, I guess, address an anti-Semitic situation in your own party with John Shadlock.
Yes.
A lot of people in the community are also concerned about Dr. Gunnham in Ottawa. So now I know that he and you have gone on the record to say that there's nothing anti-Semitic about his remarks or his blog. Could you clarify your position on
Sure.
Gunnham? Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Well, first of all, it was we didn't hesitate. Although I must say, John Shadlock is someone who'd been a nominated candidate for that area for a while. We've never been aware of the comments on his blog. And in the time that he'd worked with us, I mean, he was devastated because he said, "Look, I'm not anti-Semitic." I said, "Look, the comments can't stand. Look what you wrote on the blog." We hadn't seen it before, and so it was the decision of within, I think, an hour. That he was refused the approval of the leader to run as a candidate for the Green Party. Dr. Gannon is another situation in that he has posted comments that are clearly critical of Israeli foreign policy. And I may be out on thin ice on this one, but I've never felt comfortable with the idea that it's, for instance, when the U.S. had the slogan, "My country, right or wrong," you can be critical of foreign policy without being against that nation, or worse yet, against its people. Dr. Gannon, I admit, came quite close to the line. But I've gone over it with him. He's clarified his views. He has been involved in the process of potlucks for peace. He sees himself as someone and he is, in fact, as I know him, someone who's very supportive of all peacemaking efforts, and he's not in any way anti-Semitic. He's critical of the state of Israel. There's no question he is. But the range of views within a party that believes in grassroots democracy, we have a lot of candidates who would also, disagree with him. Our policy is what our policy is, but we don't shut down our membership as long as the comments do not tread into an area that is anti-Semitic or in some way hateful. But criticisms of our own policies, criticisms of me, appear very frequently on our website. We can accept a range of views, and our candidates in the Toronto area, just wonderful, strong advocates for the state of Israel, and taking on case within our own sort of little internal communication. People like Rosemary Fry, Dr. Georgina Wilcock, people like Ellen Michelson. These are just Toronto area candidates who are very strongly of the opinion that Dr. Gannon went too far. His situation is as close to the line as we would ever get without discontinuing a candidate, but he happens to be someone who has, in his work and in his life, promoted peaceful resolution to conflict, and if he'd said anything that appeared to be anti-Semitic as opposed to criticisms of the foreign policies of the state of Israel, if he'd ever suggested for a minute that he didn't recognize the right of the state of Israel to exist, basic stuff, you don't tread on that, but you can have a difference of opinion within the same party.